Hi guys, hope you're well. Welcome to DOdaily. Des here. Who's ready to attack a brand new week? Who's ready for some money motivation to give it a real go? Start the week with some real intention. Of course, what I'm looking to do through DOdaily is offer plenty of encouragement to get involved in activity, in the things we offer through the Do Running community, and of course offer some tips and advice how potentially we might just do it that little bit better, get the absolute most from it. Whilst I'm not trying to preach or tell anyone what to do, DOdaily really is just a safe space where you can take a bit of information, take a bit of inspiration hopefully, and use it to feel good about what you're doing. As ever on a Monday, it's about motivation, and starting as we intend to go on. I'm out and about at the moment, and whilst I'm a little bit late, I do apologise for that. I'm not beating myself up too much about it today. I've had a really busy day, lots to do. So now I've had the perfect opportunity to get out a little bit later. And as you can see behind me, just there, you probably can't see it as well as I can. The sun's going down. It's making for an absolutely amazing sunset. The longer days have been particularly warm today, so that's a real positive to start the week, isn't it? And it's promised, particularly where I am here in Nottingham, to last a little bit longer than it has done recently, with the temperatures improving. So even more reason to feel absolutely fantastic about what we're doing. And I am at the moment. It's been a tricky couple of weeks. I've mentioned it's tinged with sadness, things that got absolutely no control over. And whilst I talk about not being defined by things we can't control, I've also come to understand that it's okay to be upset, and that on one hand, but also be positive about other things, to still keep trying to drive forward to make the most of it. Otherwise, we get ourselves into a bit of a predicament where we don't quite know what to do, and it can easily sort of slip away from us. We can get a bit stressed out and find ourselves in a place we really don't want to be. Spoken a lot this weekend to one or two sort of people who are close to me about my own sort of personal journey and why I do certain things, and it's been a bit of an eye-opener. It's made me understand that where I've come from, why I've done it, why I intend to do what I do, so it's been absolutely fantastic in that sense. Whilst it's a little uncomfortable at the time, now I've had the opportunity to sort of think about it, digest it, and use it to take forward. And that's what Mondays are all about, aren't they? Trying to find the absolute positive in what we're doing, find a way to attack things rather than look back with regrets or remorse. We've got to be positive. So whilst I've had those difficult situations, I'm absolutely full of it in terms of doing what I feel is my purpose, encouraging activity and involvement. So of course, what we do have through the DOdaily, through the Do Running community, is this safe space where people can just check in, see somebody else who's living it, who's experiencing it. And whilst I don't claim to know it all, I'm quite honest and relatable in passing on a message that it's not always easy. Some of the messaging is a little bit repetitive, but that's important as well, isn't it? It's important to realise that things don't just crop up once and go away and then we have to experience it different again. We have to remember how we've dealt things and take it forward. What I will do before I go any further is talk about what we've got on offer through DOdaily this week. It's the same as ever, but I like to run down it for those who might be tuning in for the first time. We've got Tuesday training tomorrow. It's a solidarity session, an activity session where you can get involved, whatever activity you choose. Whilst it was formed on the back of a running group here in Nottingham, we had to find a way of changing, adapting to the pandemic. And of course, the restrictions meant we couldn't meet up in person. So trying to keep the community together, basically we formed this solidarity session where people just come together at 6:30, take pictures, posting what they're doing, let us know, and make the absolute most of doing the activity, but doing it at a time when others are doing it as well, when others are taking part. Make the most of the activity, whatever they choose. It's just something we can do as a group, we can take forward. We can try our absolute best to keep the community going and keep that feel good going. When you do it as a group, it can be just the motivation you need, so that's absolutely fantastic. On Wednesday, we've got the Wednesday workout. I look through the Do Running closed Facebook group to post information about activities we can take part in. Of course, we tend to run a Wednesday workout challenge alongside that, so I'll have more details on how that's going. Currently, it's a last man standing steps challenge, but we're also working on a small planking challenge, for the rest of April, where you can get involved. And it's normally something that's free and available and easy to do. Whilst planking's not that easy, it's definitely accessible. So that's what we look to do there. And all that's for really is to offer that little bit of a distraction from the busy week, from everything that we have to deal with. We have to take that time back for ourselves, be kind to ourselves, and understand that even if we are busy, sometimes taking a step back, doing something that little bit different, doing something we enjoy, can be just the shot in the arm we need to tackle everything else that little bit better. On Thursday, of course, I'll be doing the live session, the questions and answers. So I'm here to answer whatever you've got to throw at me. Please post them in the comments on any of the videos, on any of the social media. I'll look to answer whatever you've got, whilst of course it's about those things I mentioned, activity and encouragement and motivation and how we deal with things. You can ask me absolutely anything. It can be serious or not. I'm absolutely out there. I'll tell you exactly what I think. I've said so much already through DOdaily, which probably not comfortable with, but I've got a purpose here to make it honest and relatable, and like I say, use my experience and knowledge to sort of help other people, help me get through. I always mention how important DOdaily is to me and gives me that bit of focus. It's really important for helping others too. One or two people have picked things up, and just those little nuggets sometimes, those little things that you might not know, that you might not have had time to research or look into yourself. I'm always listening to other people and what they've got to say and how they do things. And sometimes you just come across an absolute cracker. And hopefully that's what I can do on a Thursday. On Friday, we'll look to shake off another busy week with Wake Up to Walk. An episode where at the moment I'm following the Robin Hood Trail through Nottinghamshire. Covered about 11 miles of that already. Really enjoyed last Friday. And the video, if you get a chance, please check it out. I walked from Bramcote Hills in Nottingham up to Strelly Village and stumbled across an absolute gem. Always a sucker for a view, and I found an absolutely stunning view across the city, across Nottingham, and like today, not a cloud in the sky. So it put me in such a good frame of mind. Whilst I could forget about what had gone, I was also in a brilliant mood on Friday and really attacked the weekend. And after some of those things I've had to experience recently, that was vitally important. And I've been in such a great frame of mind this weekend. And what I really want to talk about for Monday Motivation is how we can use time, how we can be kind to ourselves, and sometimes say no, because that's really important, isn't it? Doing what I do, I quite often get consumed by what other people need and expect of me, which is absolutely fair enough. I love to help where I possibly can, but in the last week or two, I've just had to make a point of saying no, saying I can't do this, taking that little bit of time for myself. And whilst I'd love to be able to do absolutely everything, somebody who wants to be social, the reason I create groups and activities is so we can be really social and make the most of it. And of course, it's even more so important through these times, through these tough times. It's important for me now as well to to realise that sometimes I need to do what I have to do. And this weekend's been a classic example of that. Do you know, whilst I was invited to one or two things which I could have happily gone along to and enjoyed, I'm not questioning that. Do you know, I took some time, do you know, after all that stress, after the busy period, do you know, to spend some time with Kay, do you know, try to instill a bit of spontaneity back into things. Do you know, one of the things I really miss right now, one of the things that COVID really affects me with, is that opportunity to get out there and just do things off the cuff. Do you know, whilst sometimes I do, because I can get out in different places and do this. Do you know, there's still a little bit of structure to what I'm doing. I'm working to money motivation. I'm working to do the video. Do you know, I just want to get out there and be able to do whatever I want. I mentioned a few times in the last few weeks about not being stuck to sort of going to the pub or meeting someone here or doing this. Do you know, whilst I want to do all those things, I want to do them sort of how we should do them. Just go out there, you know, if we feel like it. So on Saturday, good example of this, me and Kay, we just went for a walk, and we said if we can get into a pub for a drink, we will. Do you know, whilst we've been making a conscious effort not to drink, do you know, whilst we made a conscious effort not to make too many plans, do you know, we said if we can get out there and do it. If not, we're not going to get too stressed about it, because that's easy, isn't it? When you're there, you can beat yourself up about not being let in, do you know, or COVID's doing this, COVID's doing that. Do you know, we try to be as positive as we can for it, do you know, and now we're not going to start letting ourselves get beat up by it. So we got turned away, you know, from a few places. That was absolutely fair enough. Do you know, we knew what to expect. We knew we was taking a chance, but eventually we found somewhere to have a drink, and we made the absolute most of it. Do you know, we took that time for ourselves. No expectations placed on us. Do you know, not trying to please anyone else. Do you know, and all these things I talk about, that plan I've just spoke about throughout the week, do you know, is all things you can get involved in at your leisure. You can do it all. You can do none of it, you can do bits of it. Do you know, you can just watch the video. Do you know, absolutely no obligation. One of the things I've always said since the very first running group I started, of course things have evolved, was it's absolutely no obligation. Do you know, but what I found in the last few years, the obligation has been all on me. Do you know, which is fine. Do you know, I put myself in a position, I commit to doing things. Do you know, running groups, this, people, do you know, invest a lot of time in people, but what you realise sometimes, it doesn't always come back. You need to sort of be kind to yourself, be politely refuse. I was having a conversation just this afternoon about this subject, do you know, and realise where you need to take that back for yourself. Right now, I'm out for a walk, got some friends a bit further down the road. Do you know, a small group we've formed on a Monday, something I really enjoy, but something that really gives me that sort of purpose and intention again to start the week. This week, alongside having purpose and intention, alongside all that activity, do you know, I'm going to put a bit of purpose and intention on myself, a bit more than usual. Whilst I talk about it a lot, probably a little bit guilty of not doing it, and we're all a little bit guilty of that, living to other people's expectations and needs, do you know, and sometimes those needs and expectations don't suit ours, do they? And we have to be honest to ourselves, honest to them, do you know. I wouldn't quite say it's a case of this, but almost be cool to be kind and give them your full attention when you need to, when you need to do it for you, when you need to do it for them. If you can't give that at that particular time, which is something I found creeping in just bit by bit, I just have to think, no, take the time, take a step back, and when you can, do you know, you can enjoy it in the best way possible. Like I say, I'm just seeking that bit of spontaneity, do you know, and that bit of spontaneity, it's a hard word to say twice in a row, for myself, do you know. And this week I definitely want to do that. So if you can do that, guys, you know, it might just offer that something different, you know. Getting involved in the sessions might be spontaneous for you, you know. It might just give you the chance to do that, something that little bit different, you know, to give you that sort of injection of fun, you know, motivation, inspiration, whatever you need to take forward. And that's all I really want to say. I hope that made sense. You know, it's just about caring for yourself, caring for what you do, you know. And if you can get out to places like this, particularly as the sun's dropping, you know, that's absolutely fantastic too. Make sure you take part in plenty of activity. Make sure you do what you want to do. You know, the message today is definitely that one. You know, as much as ever. You know, and make sure you tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. for the briefing before the solidarity session. Ready to get those yellow t-shirts on, get out there and take part in what we do. Really full of it again, you know, so really looking forward to attacking this week. And that's what Monday's about, isn't it? Love this walk, you know, plenty of enthusiasm. Until tomorrow, guys, have a great evening. Get out there if you can. There's still a bit of daylight left. Squeeze one in. And I'll see you tomorrow. Just doing it.